Josh Green here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Moses Itauma, just a few days out from fight night now. How are you doing, Moses?
Yeah, I'm all good. How are you?
Yeah, very, very well. Big opportunity once again for you on Saturday night. Joyce Zhang, obviously the main event, but you'll be looking to make a big statement as well.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, I don't want to go in there and not put on a statement. So, yeah, I'm like you're probably gonna ask me in a minute. Although I feel like about my previous fights, I've done the best I could in it. Obviously, the main thing for right now is trying to stay away from injury. So, I'm not doing a good job with that.
Has that been tough for you, staying away from injury so young in your career? You don't want it to happen now because that could have an effect later on in your career.
Of course, but I can't exactly help it, can I?
Certainly not. I will ask you about those previous performances. Obviously, going the distance is not something that you're going to want to be doing at this stage in your career, but it is rounds in the bank, and if you continue to knock people out like you did previously, then there's big things to come.
Yeah, of course. Obviously try to get that KO streak going, or get that KO rolling, because obviously my last two fights have gone the distance. Well, what can I do about it? Like I said, I'll go in there and try my best, and that's all what someone can ask from me.
Is the expectation something that do you think has changed?
I'm not really bothered about what people expect from me, because at the end of the day, it has no impact on my life.
What do you think they do expect from you?
I don't know. Probably go in and knock a fucking King Kong out or something. I don't know, but yeah, I'm here, man.
Something I wanted to speak to you about is your debut, because it was quite difficult circumstances with Carol earlier on in the night. Was that for you a difficult adaptation to have to look past that?
Yeah, it was. It's 100%. Like, there's only a few fights where I've been there personally when Carol's lost, and then having to box after that, it's not the best, but like I said, I had to adapt to it, or like you said, I had to adapt to it, and listen, it went well for me. Unlucky for Carol, but he's back out again, so get the ball rolling.
Has that given him a fresh focus, do you think? Because nobody wants to lose, but when you lose, you've got to focus back again and get back on the horse.
Yeah, like I said, what can he do about it? He can't do nothing now. Like, the guy's retired now, so he can't even get his own back. Like, all he can do is think about the future.
One thing I want to talk to you about is the main event on Saturday night. I think most people going into the first fight between Joyce and Zhilei Zhang were expecting it to be a Joyce victory, but that was not the case. Do you believe that Joyce is going to be able to get that revenge on Saturday night?
Yeah, any heavyweight is capable to knock any heavyweight out. So, of course, but it's whether he'll do it or not. Personally, I'm rooting for him, but it's a big ask.
Do you think it's a big ask? Do you think Zhang goes in favourite?
Yeah, I believe so.
How much of a factor do you think the eye injury that Joyce suffered in the last fight is going to be going into this?
I don't know. That's down to his team. I'm not really worried about that. Like, I've got my own problems to worry about, and whatever Joyce has with his team, he should be talking to his team, and hopefully I wish him good luck, and I'll be rooting for him.
I do want to talk to you quickly about a few things in the wider heavyweight scene, starting with Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. What do you see in that fight? Do you see it as a challenge at all for Tyson Fury?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think it was Mike Tyson that said that he hasn't had any professional boxing fights. It's not fights like he is. Obviously, he's called a few people out. So, yeah, it's difficult as well, because, like, personally, if I was obviously in Tyson Fury's shoe, I feel like taking a fight with Usyk would be more like understandable, because, like, if Tyson Fury loses against Francis Ngannou, it's like, what's happened? Do you get what I mean? But obviously with Usyk, it's alright because he's a boxer, whereas with Tyson Fury, it's an MMA fighter. But yeah, it's all entertainment at the end of the day. So,
how much chance do you actually give Ngannou in that? I think everybody says he's got a massive.
I have 100. Probably about 35.
I also want to speak to you about Anthony Joshua. It seemed, although after the win against Robert Helenius, he'd be taking on Deontay Wilder. That doesn't seem like the case now. Is that bad for British boxing? What are your thoughts on the fight not happening?
There's plenty of other fights for Anthony Joshua, so yeah, I would. It is bad, but what can he do?
What do you think are the best routes now for AJ?
I don't know. That's down to him and his team.
There's nobody in your mind that you think would be a good match for him? You said there were lots of other fighters that you think would be good for him?
Maybe Dubois, you know. That'd be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I spoke to Dev just a few minutes ago and he mentioned Daniel Dubois as well. Despite the loss against Usyk, he's made himself a star in British boxing over the last year, and I think many people would look into that fight and see him as having a real chance against AJ.
I wouldn't say he has a real chance, but it'll be interesting, isn't it? Like, obviously, there's no fights like British fights, so obviously if you get two Brits together, then it's meant to be fireworks.
I'm not sure we've spoke to you since Daniel Dubois' loss against Alexander Usyk. What were your thoughts on the low blow, or not low blow, whatever people think?
Well, I believe it's on the belt line, so I don't believe it's low. But like I said, my choice, my decision, it means peanuts. So just go on with it and think about the future.
How much will that affect Daniel Dubois going forwards, do you think?
I don't know. I ain't got a clue.
Thank you very much for your time, Carl, and best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.